Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Not Quite Serious podcast.
Well, I have to say, things have gotten a little more serious by the looks of things. I mean, I'm here now, visually. And
yeah, you're over there.
down there.
I'm down here. I'm here. You're there.
So,
I think. Yep.
we decided to run with this whole new concept. Hopefully it's going to...
Yeah, give it a different try. A bit more of a personable approach to the podcast, considering it's on YouTube. We may as well.
Yeah. We'll keep looking out for somewhere to host it. Maybe iTunes. I don't really know if that costs money. But
Maybe iTunes, I think it does. But we'll sort it out. But for now, while we're doing this YouTube-only approach, and probably in the future as well, if this works out, then we'll have a video segment so that there's something to see. But obviously, we're not going to focus on the video portion. You'd still be able to minimize the podcast in another tab while you do something else or whatever.
Yeah, the idea is that it still should work as an audio thing. If it doesn't, then we failed somewhere.
Oh, we'll be fine.
Shall we tuck into some delicious food and drink?
Yes. Let's have a look what we've got. I'll let you start since you're doing the off podcast segment, teaser segment.
That's right, food and drink. I gotta push that button. Bring up a nice little picture there.
Ooh.
And that picture is showing today's food and drink items.
Is that up here?
It's right above your head, yes. And if you're watching in the video, you're going to see that picture. If you're not watching in the video, then I am holding some rather brown-looking Khalifa Farms Cocoa Noir cold brew coffee with almond. It's dairy-free and soy-free, so you know it's good for you.
Cold brew sounds good. I've not had a cold brew coffee for a while.
Nothing goes down quite like a cold brew. Actually, I don't know that for sure. I've never tried this.
I quite like cold brew coffee. I'll be interested to see what you think. Mind you, that is a flavoured one, so be interested to see what you reckon.
It does say on the back it's a dangerously delicious blend. Mix of cold brew coffee, double dark chocolate, and creamy smooth almond beverage. You have to be good, but you don't have to behave. Good. I never wanted to behave, whatever have is. Yeah.
You better be careful while you drink that then if it's dangerously addictive.
Yeah. Do you shake these?
I'd give it a shake.
Well, yeah, it's a shake. Well.
I was going to say, it's got almond and stuff in it, so I'd give it a shake. Yeah.
That looks really good on the old podcast webcam there.
That's a lovely sound as well.
If you're watching this on the individual YouTube from the podcast segment, then you can check out the rest of the amazing podcast as well. We've got a little bit of news about the Facebook VR system coming up. We're going to be talking about Mario Run and Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's all going on this week, 3 week. Whenever we air these things, we just make it up as we go along.
This episode.
On this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
I can smell that already. Yeah, it smells like a sort of rich, dark smell to it. I don't know what dark smells of, but probably this.
I'll sniff my coffee and imagine I'm smelling it too.
I'm definitely getting the soy. Basically, a sort of dark chocolate and soy milk smell, this. Not much. Doesn't smell very coffee-ish, I guess.
It could be the almond you're smelling.
Yeah, that.
If it's made with almond milk, or
that makes sense. Yeah. Well, go on then. Let's have a go. It's quite cool and refreshing. I had it just from the fridge as well. You can just about to see it there, spilling all over the desk. Maybe next time, bring a cup. Oh well.
Yeah, well done. So good, you're throwing it all over the place.
Yeah, you get that soy taste, which is probably the almond, now that you think about it. But I kind of perceive soy in this.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, the soy adds a nice sort of refreshing hit to it. It's smooth, not very acidic in taste.
No, I tend to find that cold brew coffee is a little bit smoother than normal iced coffee. So.
Yeah, I quite like this. I believe this cost 90p when I picked it up.
What's the volume?
These ones are 310 ml.
310. That's not bad for 90p. Even if that was half
a
price, it's not bad.
A milky product tends to be more expensive, doesn't it? Well, let's move on.
Just cold brew coffee, I tend to find is a little bit more expensive. So.
Cold brew coffee, just the normal non-flavored one.
Yeah, just because of the way it's brewed, it takes as much as 24 hours to brew. So, and they tend to charge a little bit more because it's a little bit stronger.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, it's a little bit of a comforting information there. I didn't really know they put that kind of effort into this stuff. Speaking of putting in effort, we got some delicious Pringles. Pizza Pringles.
I've seen these around and not tried them, so I'd be intrigued as what they taste like.
It's, I don't know if this is imported because there's an enormous barcode sticker on it with all the ingredients on. You know, like for UK, or maybe it's a European thing.
I imagine it might be an American thing that they've just plastered a big UK nutritional information thing on.
Let's pop this open. I believe these were about £2. They're quite expensive, these ones.
Hell, have you seen the price of Pringles these days?
You don't just eat them, apparently.
What do you do with Pringles then if you don't just eat them?
You just kind of look at them. You review
them. Look at them, like pick them up, play with them a little bit.
I guess if you're listening to this in some way, then yes, true, you don't look at them. They're just your ordinary Pringles, duckbill-shaped pieces of crisp with a red kind of thick, visible red dust on them. If you are watching this in some way, shape or form, then you can take a look at them now. It's a very angry red there. It's kind of nifty. Smells just a salt, but that's Pringles for you. I'll take one of these and eat it. Oh yeah, it's pizza. I don't know how pleased I am to experience the guest of pizza in my mouth at this time. It's about as fake a pizza as one can make.
Is it that? Yeah. Go on. I was going to say, is it that that sort of weird herby tomato flavour that they tend to pass off as pizza?
You're probably onto something there. It tastes like if you take one of those microwavable mini pizzas, microwave it, and then it's ready. Let it cool until everything's like solidified, and then microwave it again, and let that cool. And then you're getting somewhere. Sprinkle some like fake AstroTurf cheese stuff on it, and I reckon you'd probably match this bang on. It's not a very good crisp flavour, this. No. Oh. Let me get back into that coffee.
So you say stick with the salt and vinegar?
Yeah, stick with your salt and vinegar and your cheese and chives, because those are the money flavours.
Yeah, sour cream and onion, salt and vinegar.
So that's a big thumbs down for the Pringles.
Oh, what a shame! You paid £2 for those as well.
And I'm willing a thumbs up for the coffee noir. It's pretty good tasting stuff. Unless I misremember the price. If I have, I'll stick something somewhere.
£90.
All right. That's covered all my food and drink. But I believe there's some food and drink of yourself.
Nah, I haven't bothered this week.
Oh,
That's a lie. In fact, I shall be opening this. The Greys. This week's, well,
Grays. That's one of them deliverable things, right?
yeah, they deliver once a week, once a fortnight, twice a week if you're that crazy. Snacks to your door. And inside each one, you get a selection of 4 snacks. I'm sure most people have heard of Greys by now, but if you didn't,
Probably by now they've been
you get
going around. They sell them in the shops,
years.
don't they?
Yeah, years. You can get individual punnets in shops now and things like that. But I'm going around for years. If you've not heard of Greys, the delivery service, this is what you get. You get 4 punnets of a selection of different snacks.
Yeah, it's
in a
got
nice
plastic
little
tubs, isn't it? Like what you usually get. Those little biscuit bread roll thingies that you have that you normally use for dipping into those yogurts. A bit like that.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, or like a differently shaped Dairy Dunker.
Yeah, Dairy Dunker, yeah. That's the one.
And you get your information. But the important thing is, I noticed a new one that I've not actually seen here before. So in this, I don't know if I'll try all of these right now, but
well, no, try the new one. I mean,
it's definitely a new one. And there's another one I'd like to try as well, but this one is the one I wanted to try. It is the Veggie Caesar.
Whoa, that looks like something a rabbit would love.
So this is sour cream and onion half popped corn, cheddar bruschetta, and edamame beans. So sounding interesting. I've never had edamame beans like this before. I've had them in cooking. But let's open that bad boy up.
It's like a smorgasbord of greens and whites and yellows there. It's probably good for you.
It smells really good. So yeah, so there's a bit of bruschetta, just like little.
That looks like a little mini French bread that's been sliced up.
It basically is, yeah, a little piece of bruschetta. Then you've got your half popped corn, which looks like
just a bit of popcorn.
It looks mostly like popcorn, yeah.
Kind of looks like a bit like a cheese, like a sweet corn that's been popped by the hue of it.
It basically is, I think. Yeah, looks like it anyway. And then you've got your edamame beans, little green beans.
Oh yeah.
So, which I've never had in this form before. There's an unpopped corn that I just dropped. It just literally looks like a piece of sweet corn.
Oh yeah.
So
those chewy then? Or they've been made hard, do you think?
They're crunchy. They're dried and crunchy.
Crunchy.
So let's try a piece of half popcorn.
Oh, I can hear those crunches.
Oh wow. That's really strongly sour cream and onion flavour. I actually really like that. It's really tasty. Yeah. I could happily snack on a whole punnet of just those.
Well, I think that's Gray's idea.
Yeah, and then we've got the bruschetta. I'll try. Ooh. That's actually very, very nice.
I'm trying to remember the context of which you would get those served, because you do sometimes have meals with those little sliced up next to you, but I can't quite put my finger on it what it is.
Yeah, I've seen these as a dip. With little crunchy bits of bruschetta in supermarkets and things as well. That you can buy, you get these under dip. Well, that's really nice. Got a really strong, satisfying cheese flavour on them. I presume it's cheddar since it says that on there. And then the edamame beans aren't flavoured, it seems. They usually cook edamame beans salted though, so I imagine they're slightly salty. Huh.
Is it edamame?
If I'm absolutely honest,
yeah,
the edamame beans taste slightly burnt. They've got that slightly overcooked flavour.
Maybe it's a rich texture that can only be experienced correctly if you get a small finger full of the nuts.
Yeah, let's try another one. They're very crunchy, as you can hear.
Oh yeah.
That one didn't taste quite as burnt. I think I may just have a couple of burnt ones in here. But yeah, all it is, the slightly sweet edamame bean, with the saltiness. Like these are, so basically, yeah, just a regular hard, crunchy, dry edamame bean. Quite nice actually, once you when you don't have a burnt one. Yeah, I like that. It's really good. I've never seen that one before, but I'll definitely be telling Grace that I like that and get that again.
Do you know how much they work out from your subscription? Because you're paying every month, are you?
It's I get these every fortnight, and they're £4 every time. So one of these punnets is £1.
Oh,
so
right.
not too bad. It's a nice little snack. The other one I wanted to have a quick try of is protein peanut butter dipper, which is a looks like a whole peanut butter with baked hemp sticks.
Oh, right, so it's like a sachet of peanut butter.
It's a little bit of peanut butter and then hemp sticks.
I guess they kind of look like little logs that have been chopped up and then felled into a pile.
Kind of. These are salted. These have got little bits of salt on them. Hemp.
So could you smoke that up?
Smoke up these little breadsticks.
Or make a bag out of it. I swear.
Make a bag out of my... Yeah. Let's stir up this peanut butter. There we go. So yeah, basically we've got peanut butter on a hemp stick. So let's see what that's like.
Peanut butter looks very gooey and runny. A lot of oil in that peanut butter.
That makes a good dip. Oh. Yes. That's proper peanut butter. That's sticking my mouth together.
You've spotted the flaw now. Now, Leon, let's talk about the serious matters.
Oh yeah, that's actually they've not done that awful thing that a lot of American companies do with the peanut butter and really sweetened it. It's just tastes like peanuts and maybe a bit of salt. I do have an ingredients list somewhere, but yeah, that's really nice. The hemp stick doesn't taste of a whole lot. I think the peanut butter may have overpowered it.
Is that much of a flavour, do you think?
I'm just trying one now. It just tastes like a salty breadstick.
I guess it's just there for the texture more than it's.
It definitely serves its purpose. It's good. And again, it's under 150 calories. Yeah, so it's it's one of those.
So I guess at a quid thing, the fact that you're still subscribing to it after all this time, you're probably going to give that a thumbs up, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I give the Caesar one. If I didn't get any burnt edamame beans, that would be 100% thumbs up. But I'd have to dock it a point or two for that. It's still good though, and the peanut butter dip is very, very good. It's just how I like my peanut butter. Nice, it's thick and and I need a drink of water.
Nice and peanut. Well, that just about lines up the food and drink section of the show. We're moving on to the news now. So if you're watching the food and drink separately, come and see the whole podcast. Yeah. It's got me, and it's got him as well.
Come and see it.
So we'll quickly move on to the news section now. Ooh. Just push this button. There we go.
Absolutely seamlessly. And there is one thing in particular we'd like to cover. Just get settled here on the hungry couch. Okay.
Oh, yes.
We have got... I can't settle on the hungry couch. Hang on. There we go. I'm settled. We have got this time the story about Facebook's Oculus and their new headset.
Oh yes, they own Oculus now, don't they? They bought them a whiles back.
Yeah, Facebook bought Oculus a couple of years ago, um, and everyone was a little bit worried, but it didn't. It hasn't seemed to impact Oculus all that much still. So no, it's a decent headset. I think the Vive is getting a little bit ahead of it in terms of tech at the moment, but you know.
So the Vive is the more advanced version with all those sensors.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. The Oculus Go, which is apparently going to be a completely standalone headset. So, meaning you won't have to plug it into a computer to get it to do anything. It'll have its own onboard processor and CPU and everything. I imagine it's going to have like, some sort of Android processor.
Oh, so it's like a little phone or a Raspberry Pi kind of put in the box.
Yes, apparently they're aiming to launch it at $199. So
that's a competitive price point, I suppose.
yeah, $199. The equivalent in pounds is probably going to be £200.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, so which is it's a big difference from when the Oculus Rift launched originally, and that required an expensive PC as well. So I think the Oculus Rift launched at $600, somewhere around there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
cheaper now, I think. But
With a PC, that's probably going to set you back at least £1,000, isn't it? It's like a really expensive way to get your VR on.
I think the Oculus now is dropping down to about £400. So you may be able to get one for about 850, 900. You might get away with. Still up there, still not cheap.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess if you're.
Well, if you're buying into all this VR stuff, then you've obviously got the money to expend to get it. So
a little bit of disposable currency. So I guess at the other end of the spectrum, there's all the cheaper models.
yeah, there's like the Samsung ones and the Google Cardboard. Or whatever.
So Facebook are kind of basically hoping this is the big Trojan horse that will get the VR platform going into the public masses.
Well, basically, yeah. According to this article by Olivia Solon on The Guardian, which I'm looking at now, Mark Zuckerberg has promised that the Oculus Go would be the most accessible VR experience ever.
Yes.
And help realize his new goal of having 1 billion people dwelling in virtual reality at some time in the future.
Hopefully they don't Facebookify it too much. I mean, it's going to start off really good, but then, Facebook and all that.
Yeah, that is the issue. That is the worry. I think that was the worry when Facebook first bought out Oculus in the first place.
Imagine eventually Facebook's going to explode in a huge shower of excrement and emojis when the bubble bursts.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing this will have going for it is that it's not going to require a smartphone, like you said.
I suppose it's going to be very cheapish then in the way, because you can't really get a very good screen for that price point. It's going to be like a HD at least packed into that case, and
it's going to be some sort of screen. I imagine it's still going to be powered by mobile, some sort of mobile processor.
Yeah, so they're basically packing a phone inside but just gluing it shut, do you think?
I think it'll basically be a lot of mobile tech just built in rather than something you can take in and out. You won't need an incredibly expensive mobile phone. You'll just need the headset for $200 or whatever. Apparently, Google are also working on a standalone headset, but there's not really any details on that I can dig up at the moment.
Google basically had their own special project based on the Daydream platform, didn't they? The high end.
That's the Daydream requires a smartphone.
A very high end smartphone, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But apparently they're working on their own standalone one, but we don't know how much is that going to cost. It will probably be part of the Daydream brand, I imagine.
Yeah, hopefully this whole thing is the Trojan horse that VR gaming needs to get into the consciousness.
I really like the idea of VR. I don't actually own any VR headsets at the moment. I was thinking of picking up a PlayStation VR at some point. PlayStation VR, by the way, has been out for an entire year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy. I popped open Twitter this morning, I was looking through my feed, and it's like, help us celebrate the first anniversary of PlayStation VR. What?
Well, I mean, they've only really got like 7 main games, haven't they? They don't really have a very big catalogue of.
I don't know.
There's like full-length games.
There's a load of there's loads of indie games. There's a bunch of indie games that support it. There's a few. There's not that many full retail games that support it. I know one of the big ones was Resident Evil 7.
Like the main flagship for it. I mean, other than that, there's that Batman game, but that's like a string of mini games stuck together where you go from room to room.
Yeah.
And it's very kind of limited.
I can't remember if they're coming to PlayStation VR, but the Skyrim VR is coming out soon, and Doom VR.
Well, that sounds like they would work pretty well.
Doom VR looks incredible. Skyrim VR, I'm not sure how well that's going to work.
Well,
that's the one everyone seems to be excited. It's the one everyone seems to be excited for.
Experience from the slow-paced action RPG kind of.
It could work, but yeah, with the Skyrim one, it's a strange thing because you're traveling around a massive 3D world with the VR headset strapped to your face. I'm not sure if that's going to work entirely well. Isn't Fallout VR as well?
Yeah, that could work well with like the VADS targeting system.
Sure,
you can look to the limb you want to shoot. That would work well. Hopefully, they do that.
Yeah, I'm sure something to do with Fallout VR's coming as well.
Well, I guess that just about ties up for this news story. Let's move on to the next section, and that's the games we've played. Games. What have you been playing, Leon?
Let's talk about games. I've not played an awful lot, but I did. I think I mentioned it last podcast that I was going to take a look at the new update first for Super Mario Run.
Oh,
because,
yes.
It was due a new update, and they were slashing the price in half. So I said I'd pick it up at half price and check out all the new features and everything. And I have to say, originally when Mario Run came out, I downloaded the free version. For some reason, I wasn't completely enamored with it, and I deleted it after about a week without purchasing the full version. But then I heard about this new update. It reminded me that the game existed and gave me a bit of renewed interest. We discussed it last time on the podcast, and I was like, yeah, I'll get that. I downloaded it. It was only cost $5 to unlock the full version, so yeah, I'll buy that. It has all the modes that were in it before. There's tour mode, which is basically your basic levels. It's 3 levels, then a castle level, and then all the way up to World 6. And they've added a new world called World Star, which is you have to beat the rest of the levels first, and then you can play World Star, which is like just a slightly more difficult series of levels, which is pretty nice.
They also play as well as the console games now, or does it feel too different?
It's the same as when it first came out. So it's literally Mario moves on his own, and he always strives to move from the left to the right. He always tries to move from the left to the right,
just
left
like
to the right. Yeah. So, and all you have control over is his jump. So you tap the bottom of this. There's an area on the screen that they've deliberately left with no graphic. Oh well, they've just got a little texture at the bottom, so you're not covering up the scene with your thumb. So you can just tap to make him jump.
Yeah.
So all you have control over is Mario's jump. You can wall jump, you can bounce on enemies, you can hold down to get a higher jump, tap to get a low jump. So you have all the control that you normally have in the main games of his jump but only his jump.
So you can't
You,
stop.
you can't stop. There are special little pause blocks, like blocks with a pause symbol on it. You know, the two lines.
Yeah.
Which Mario will stop when he touches them, and then you can choose to time when you tap the screen and he comes off the block. So that can help time certain obstacles out and things like that. You can actually there's certain areas where the game lets you wait for an obstacle.
So you paid £5 for this, the full package. This was a special
Full
offer,
package, yeah. So you get the full tour mode. Yeah, it's normally £10, but I paid £5. So, but yeah, so that's just the tour mode, which is just the main mode. You collect colourful coins to I don't actually know what they do, but you collect colourful coins as like a challenge as you go through the levels. You collect all the pink coins, and then it'll change to purple coins in the level, and you can go back through the level and collect the slightly more challenging purple coins, just to give you different things to do while you're playing tour mode, I think, instead of just because getting from A to B is really easy. Collecting all the coins can be a bit more tricky, so it gives you reason to replay the levels. So aside from tour mode, there is the Toad Rally, which was the main draw of the game. It's the main mode, basically. The Toad Rally is, just in a nutshell, because I know I'm going on now. Yeah. The Toad Rally is a head-to-head mode where you try to get as many coins as possible, more than the other player, who isn't. They're not a player playing at the same time as you. You're just beating someone's high score, I believe. So you have to try and get more coins than their high score.
I guess that's fun for a little while if you've got friends that are playing for that score, but
it's not just friends. It's everyone who plays the game. Basically, you just pick from a list of people and then just try and beat them.
Are you competitive in these?
This is the competitive mode.
Are you a competitive gamer?
Not really, but I have dabbled in the mode because I wanted to give it a fair shake. It's when you win, you earn toads for your town, and the more toads you earn, the more decorations you can put in your town, the bigger your town can get, and bigger and whatever. And you can spend the coins you find in the levels to buy more decorations and make the town bigger. But on the flip side, if you lose toads.
So as you're failing in the matches, your score goes down.
Basically, yeah, you lose toads, which means that you can no longer get the high-end decorations to make your town bigger. You have to go back there and earn more toads. And
decorate your town. That instantly turns me off when it comes to it.
So you can plonk down buildings in your town, which enable you to get more coin. Certain buildings and things you put in the town, you can tap to get more coins to buy the more buildings to make the thing bigger. This is the main mode, but the thing that turns me off is the fact that it costs 1 ticket every time you want to play. You have a finite amount of these tickets.
Yeah.
You can get more. You get more every day by playing the bonus game, but you have a finite amount of these tickets, and you have to spend one to play one Toad Rally. And if you lose the Toad Rally, you've not only lost your ticket, but you've also lost some of your progress. So then you need to wait till you can get more tickets so that you can try and get that progress back, or potentially lose your progress even more.
So what are you thinking overall with this then? For your £5, did you get?
So that kind of throws me off. Game? But there is another gameplay mode that they just added in the new version, which so it's basically I think it's called Remix 10, which takes vertical small slice of each level of 10 different levels and puts them back to back to back. So you have like sometimes 10 second, sometimes 15-second slice of a level. You get to the end, go through a pipe or past the goal line, and then it sends you straight into the next level. And you play these. It's just a quick fire, 10 really short levels, and that mode is really fun. That also costs 1 ticket to play, but you get to play 10 short stages, and you're always gaining from playing that. You can never lose anything from playing that.
Oh.
So you'll as you go through, you can collect these rainbow coins, and there's 3 rainbow coins in every level. If you collect all 3, you get a perfect. At the end of your run of 10 stages, it adds up how many rainbow coins you got, and pours them into a little meter, and all the perfect you got, and pours that into the same meter. And for every time you fill that meter, you gain an item for the other mode of the game. So you never lose out playing that. You can only gain stuff. So that's kind of addictive. And if you play enough, they added Princess Daisy into the game.
So you can eventually another character, so you can change your tune.
You'll be able to play as Princess Daisy, so you can eventually unlock Princess Daisy, but she's like 300 levels away or something. I think it's 30, but the way it's broken down means you have to play about 600 stages to actually reach her and unlock her.
Well,
it requires a lot of play. You need to play it a lot. I've not unlocked it yet because this is a mobile game and I don't spend all day playing a single mobile game. But I'm sure I'll unlock her eventually.
Yeah, a lot of these mobile games with these little
it's not supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be an instant gratification. Here, you get Daisy thing. I think it's supposed to. It's just a reward for playing a lot.
Wow, well done. You've done it.
When you eventually unlock her, she gets a double jump, and you can play as her during the main tour stages. So
yeah, and
during the Toad Rally and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. But I'd say for a £5, I think it's worth it. For a tenner, without Remix 10, and without the Star World and everything, I couldn't justify it.
But with them? Or are those things with them?
With the Remix 10 and the extra world, I'd say it was definitely worth me paying a £5 for it.
Yeah, so you put did you beat, is there a campaign? Did you beat the main campaign?
Yeah, the tour mode is basically the main campaign. It's the levels and bosses and so, and it's satisfying. I don't think that alone would be worth £5 or £10. With the Remix 10 mode thrown in, and as you beat levels in tour mode, you unlock more Remix 10 stages as well. So it'll take snippets of the stages you've beaten and add them to Remix 10. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
As a whole package as it is now, I think it's worth it. Before, it felt a bit lackluster, but as it is now, I think it's a worthwhile package. I've enjoyed it.
Okay, so it's worked out well for you. It's good to.
Yeah, I'm glad I waited.
You waited for the price to go down, so it's a certain hit.
Yeah,
a certain deal.
Well, that's the only new thing I've really played. I've still been playing Final Fantasy 9. I'm about to play through The Evil Within before I buy The Evil Within 2.
Oh yeah, I was kind of interested in the sequel one.
I never actually finished The Evil Within, but I'm just gonna blast through The Evil Within before I buy the second one.
I played most of the first game. I might finally get back to it and finish it. We can maybe discuss it on the next podcast. That one.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have had a couple of weeks to both play through it.
Gaming wise, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've played a few online games recently. I'm just going to touch on the one game, and that's my pictures have gone all funny. Nope, got no picture. Okay, and that was Rise of the Tomb Raider. That game's been out for a while now, but I waited until now, till it was on discount. Got it for $15.99, so it was
Can't really argue with that.
Nice price point. Well, I'm playing it in 4K mode, so with the 4K monitor, it's true you can get that on the PlayStation Pro now, but you know, not everyone has a 4K monitor.
No, I've got it on the PS4, and it's downsampled for my HD. I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have a 4K TV. I've just got a 1080p TV, and it's downsampled onto that. But it looks very nice. I imagine it looks even better on an actual 4K monitor.
It looks pretty impressive in 4K. It's very sharp,
Very
very
nice
vivid.
game.
The game, effectively, from what I've played of it, I've played up till there's this Soviet installation. I played the intro part and 3 sort of sections of the main island. It looks like an island anyway. I guess it's not supposed to be an island. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, the bulk of the game takes place in the snowy area.
Yeah. I played 3 parts of the snowy area up to the Soviet installation. The game feels it's pretty much the exact same thing as the previous Tomb Raider game from a while back. That was just called Tomb Raider, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Tomb Raider reboot.
It's other than it looking really nice, maybe a few slight mechanical tweaks. It is basically the same game, which isn't a bad thing because it's a really good. The first game was really good.
It's a great game. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's beautiful to look at as well. I imagine even more so in 4K.
Yeah,
I've seen 4K screenshots of it, and it looks bang on.
Yeah, I got it running pretty smoothly. On my PC, I had to take some of the anti-aliasing features off.
That's a shame.
At 4K, but you can't tell because it's 4K. It's too high a resolution for the anti-aliasing to make much of a use. So it looks the same. All it really differs is frame rate goes down. I get a good 6 frames per second when I tweet.
But I was going to say, it is a game that benefits from 60. A lot of gunfights, a lot of things need to be done very quickly.
Yeah, it's you're surviving on the island. You go from campsite to campsite, customizing your weapons with bits and bobs you've collected around the map or off enemies. You use Lara Croft's skills to acrobat around the place, mostly sliding down zip lines, which seems to be exactly the same as how the last game worked.
Yeah, it's mechanically it's almost identical, but set on a new island with a new story and a couple of tweaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm enjoying it so far, and if I feel disappointed or have any kind of new feeling on that, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's a great game.
That wraps up the podcast by the looks of things.
Basically, I think we're done here.
Yeah. That's around about an hour there, and I think it's gone fairly well, bearing one minor issue that I'll get to with Leon later. And
yeah, well, and hopefully this the webcam portion has gone okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess that just about does it then. I will play us out.
It's probably done for it, and yep. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter at SMGzilla on Twitter.